Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another MAMJ Let's Play of Steins Gate. When we left off, we had an amazingly awkward conversation that's just still so much fun to watch. But anyways, we are now talking to Suzuha about the fact that she's going to time leap back into 1975. When she does this, the time machine that she has can only go backwards. It can't go forwards. So, I don't know what's going to be the effect of this or what Suzuha's going to do, but I'm really curious to see how everything plays out. Suzuha frowns. Suzuha's expression suddenly hardens. I don't know. We are messing with some very, very dangerous things right now. I don't think it's going to be that easy. Hey, it's the 70s. Just like that, Suzuha's back to her usual self. But despite her cheerful smile, I'm certain that her resolve was forged from fear and doubt, and the likes of which few can imagine. I was a fool to think that my words could sway her. Beneath the clear blue sky, the time machine comes to life. Daru's repairs are complete. Mighty and I help drain the last of the water out of the cockpit. The machine is still stuck in Narikan's wall, but that's a small matter. Daru gazes at the time machine with a satisfied expression. Mighty is jumping for joy, and Kurisu, who ran over as soon as she completed the time leap machine, is visibly relieved. Meanwhile, Suzuha is struggling to attach her mountain bike to the time machine's exterior. She likes it so much, she wants to bring it with her to 1975. Kurisu was worried that it might cause a time paradox. My heart is still heavy. Should I let Suzuha leave like this? I chide myself for the thought. It's not my choice to make. Suzuha isn't from this time. If she doesn't want to stay, then I have no reason to keep her from leaving. Suzuha finishes securing her bicycle and turns to us with a soft smile. It's not the painful, forced smile I saw yesterday. We don't perform a startup test. Activating the time machine would draw too much attention. So, we're just gonna wing it. Fortunately, we have the time leap machine for insurance. My only regret is that we couldn't find her father. Daru. Not the way you want to be remembered when you're saying your wonderful goodbyes to everybody. The lab members pat Suzuha on the shoulder and offer words of encouragement, each in his or her own way. Suzuha offers me her father's pin. OSHM A 7010. In the end, we couldn't decipher the inscription.
岡部倫太郎、これあげるよ。あのラボの片隅にでもいいからさ、置いといて。
Wait a second! I know what that pin is now! I think! Cause like, okay, look. So there's OSHM *** A, right? But if the first one is Okabe, and then it's Suzuha, and then it's Hashida for Daru, and then Mayuri, I wonder if the other ones are like Moeka, Ferris, Kurisu. I don't know. I don't know if that's right or not. Maybe I'm like grasping at straws here. Because who's the other A, and why would some of them be the first name and some be the last name, right? Because it'd be Okabe Rintaro, but Amane Suzuha, so it should be A, but Kurisu, Hashida Daru, Shina Mayuri. Okay, Shina. Maybe it is. Because Makise Kurisu, yeah, so Okabe, Suzuha, Hashida, Makise. Maybe? Am I anywhere close? Okabe, Shina, Hashida, Makise. Maybe. That might be what it is. I may be getting it wrong, but that could be what those letters are for. And the year is established. But the stars might be people that don't exist anymore? Or something? I don't know. I hope not, but I don't know. It's just a theory. Just don't even take it for like what it's worth at all. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Is she regretting her decision to leave? Is this pin meant to be proof that Amane Suzuha was here with us in this time? Daru hesitates for a moment, then steps forward. I think that's what it is. It has to be that.
それすっごくいいかもだよ。珍しく気が利くじゃない。なんかそういう使い方してもらえると、私としては照れちゃうな。
つうわけなんで、画像はもう撮ったし、そのバッジは天音氏が持ってってよ。親父さんの大切な形見っしょ。
Daru can actually do nice things from time to time. I stay silent. There's nothing I can say. I could stop Suzuha from leaving if I tried. But unless she goes, I can't save Mayuri. I...
パンパカパーン。ここでマユシーから重大な発表があります。
Mayuri? Mayuri suddenly raises her hands and calls for attention. As usual, she completely fails to sense the gravity of the situation. Though I suppose it's our fault for not telling her the truth about Suzuha's time machine. In any case, she has my attention. Also, we're in an abandoned building. I mean, yes, it's abandoned, but it also is like trespassing, so we probably don't want to be making a lot of commotion. What could her announcement be? Could Mayuri have found out that she's fated to die? I quickly glance at Kurisu, but she seems as confused as I am. Then, what is it?
マユシーはですね、すずさんのお父さん見つけました。
Huh? Huh?
マジ？
Mayuri puffs out her chest proudly.
会いたいよね。というわけで、今日はお父さんに来ていただいてます。どこ？
Everyone, including me, starts looking around. Mayuri has us hook, line, and sinker. I scanned the empty event hall, but there's no one else here. Where could he be?
それでは発表します。
I think it's Okabe.
すずさんのお父さんは
Mayuri!
うお、 セルフドラムロール？
ジャグちゃん、すずさんのお父さんは
Mighty, you don't understand how tension works. Mighty flashes Suzuha a grin.
ダルくんです。
She thrusts her finger at Daru. Our mouths drop. After awkward silence comes awkward laughter.
そのロジックはジョークになってないでしょう。そもそもこの変態が結婚なんてできるわけないし。
その言い草ひどくね？
That's kind of mean.
いや、クリスティーナの言い草に全面的に同意する。ダルは30歳を超えて魔法使いにクラスチェンジするのが確定だ。
お前ら少しは自重しろ。でも事実だから反論できない。
And he's gone. Daru falls to his hands and knees, devastated. As for Suzuha herself, she clearly doesn't know how to react.
そもそも私の父さんこんなに太ってなかったよ。もうみんなダルくんに冷たいよ。
うわ、僕をかばってくれるのはマユシだけだよ。なんという天使。さては僕に惚れてるな。
Nope. Harsh.
あのね、マユシーの推理だとダルくんは絶対にすずさんのお父さんなの。
じゃあ聞かせてよ。どう証明したのか。
ピンバッジに書いてある文字のことをね、ずっと考えてたんだ。でね、じーって見てたら7010の7の部分がちょっと変だなって気づいて、これはね、7じゃなくて
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was supposed to be a 7. Whoops.
下の横棒がかすれて消えちゃってるだけ。
It looked like a 2 to me anyways.
本当に？
See, that looks like a 2 to me. The 7 would be so weird. Suzuha stares at the inscription on the pin again.
小さすぎてよくわかんないけど、デジカメで撮った画像を拡大するとね、気づくよ。
2010って西暦のこと？まさに今年のことじゃない。
だったら最初のアルファベットは何を意味するんだ？
Oh, come on, Mighty. Just lay it onto their brains. OSHMA. Or, yeah, anyways, you get it. That's what's inscribed on the
簡単
pin.
だよ。岡部、椎名、
Called it!
橋田、牧瀬
Called it!
でもって天音。
It was right in front of us all along. We just didn't know where to look. My brain just, I kept going to, how I remember the characters. Because obviously I remember, Daru and not Hashida instead. Because it's Hashida Itaru. But, so I was thinking Daru. And I'm like, wait, where does he fit into this? But Okabe, yeah, awesome.
これ
So
ラボメ
great.
ンの頭文字じゃん。
Yup.
2010年って言ったら何かなって考えたらね、ラボメンの年だって思って。
The year of the lab mems.
未来ガジェット研究所ができたのは今年だもん。
That means I have the same deductive levels as Mighty when it comes to things like this.
そういうことか。でね、すずさんから聞いた未来の話にはオカリンとクリスちゃんの話は出てくるけど、ダルくんの話はちっとも出てこなかったでしょ。
That's true.
それを言うならマユシだって。
Daru's observation startles me. It's an obvious thing to wonder about, but it strikes too close to home.
マユシーはラボメンだけどタイムマシンは作れないし、争い事も好きじゃないから。
No. The reason there aren't any stories about Mighty is because she dies in a few hours. Only Kurisu, Suzuha, and I know that. And we say nothing.
でもね、ダルくんはスーパーハッカーだし、 オカリンの右腕だし、電話レンジちゃんだってオカリンとダルくんの2人で作ったんだから、名前が出てこなくちゃおかしいと思うの。
名前が出てこない。すなわち名前を偽っているっていうことね。
すずさんがいたレジスタンスを作った人の中にはオカリンとバレルタイターさんもいたんでしょ。で、2010年の秋葉にいた人で、タイムマシンを独自に研究できる人で、オカリンのリーディングシュークリームを
Oh, it's not reading spaghetti in Japanese. It's shoe cream is what? It's like a cream puff, I guess. It's a dessert. It's a delicious dessert.
リーディングしたいな。
That's wrong.
それについて知ってる人ね、ダルくんならぴったりでしょ。
確かに。
それにね、すずさんがお父さんと会おうとしていた日のこと。
Oh, the meeting. The meeting, that's
タイ
right.
ムマシンオフ会に行けばお父さんに会えると思ったんだよね。
We know that was because we tailed her.
ちなみにダルくんもそのオフ会に行こうとしてたでしょ。
あれは日本 SF 史を語る上で重要なオフ会だったんだ、マジで。まあ天音氏の尾行ついでに潜り込めたからラッキーだったけど。
I don't remember that. It must have happened because of the Dean mail I sent. This is the curse of reading Steiner. Although I keep my memories from previous world lines, I don't acquire memories of events on new world lines.
父さんからそのオフ会の話を聞いたことがあって、子供の頃のことだからうろ覚えだったけど、とにかく行けば会えるかなって思ったんだ。
じゃああの会場で僕に会ってたらそれで解決だったって話？
どうかな。その時点では橋田至お父さんだとは認識できなかったかも。
Still, the evidence keeps piling up.
あとね、タイムマシンの名前 FG204 なんとかかんとかって言うんだけど、なんだっけ。
What about it?
FG204 セカンドエディション
Oh,
2.31。
that's totally a Daru naming technique.
そのネーミングセンスは間違いなくダル。
それに FG はね、きっとフューチャーガジェットの略だと思うんだ。
Look at Mighty putting all the pieces together. So, Suzuha's time machine is future gadget number 204?
最後に名前バレルタイターさんはね、ダルくんしか考えられないよ。
そういえば昨日の夜、まゆりからバレルの意味を教えてって聞かれたけど。
バレルはね、タルって意味なんだよね、クリスちゃん。
Kurisu nods.
タルタルダル。
ダジャレ。
His name's a pun.
でねでね、すずさん、橋田至って10回言ってみて。なんで？言えばわかるよ。
Mighty, how long did it take you to say it 10 times fast?
橋田至、橋田至、橋田至、橋田至、橋田至、橋田至、橋田至、橋田至、橋田至、橋田至。今、ダイターって聞こえなかった？
聞こえた。
橋田至、橋田至、橋田至、橋田至。
マジで？
Oh my god.
マジです。
Oh my god. Okabe doesn't even know what to say. He's just like, Okay then. I can't believe it. But with all this evidence laid out in front of me, I can't deny it either. Everyone's jaw drops again. Only this time, we're staring at Daru and Suzuha.
とってもお似合いの親子だと思うな。
プラシーボ効果かしらね。言われてみれば二人が似てるような気もしてきた。
The placebo effect. Placebo is something that seems like medicine but has no medicinal effect. When taken by a patient who believes it to be medicine, it gives them a psychological stability. Despite placebos having no medicinal effect, there are cases where a patient's condition improves.
お手柄だな。名探偵椎名真由里だ。
名探偵そんなこと言われたの初めてだよ。
She's such a ditz most of the time, but maybe she's more perceptive than anyone knows. She did an amazing job.
娘天主が僕の
You still want to make out with her? Because that's just weird. Daru, wide-eyed, points at Suzuha while flapping his lips like a fish out of water.
父さん
Aww.
そういう時はパパと呼びなさい。
I don't know if this is supposed to be emotional or funny, but it's both, and I don't like it.
こんな時ぐらい変態はやめろよ。
Yeah, seriously.
父さん
Aww. Suzuha tries to hold back her tears, but can't. They fall from her eyes and roll down her cheeks. Seeing this, Daru stops his joking and lets Suzuha speak.
私来たよ。
Aww.
父さんに会うために父さんが作ったタイムマシンに乗って
うん
父さんのやろうとしていたことを私が絶対やり遂げるから
うん
だから見ててほしい
見てるよ絶対見てるよ
Suzuha walks up to Daru and hugs him gently. Daru awkwardly but firmly hugs her back. Father and daughter, reunited across time. I'm truly glad we could bring them together.
ちなみに君の母さんは可愛かった？ロリ顔で背が小さくてだけど巨乳っての希望。
Daru.
それは内緒にしとく
When Suzuha finally steps away from Daru, she's smiling once again. At least you know what her last name is supposed to be, because she took it from her mom, right?
さてとこれでこの世界線への未練はきれいさっぱり断ち切れたからそろそろ行くよ
Oh, Suzuha, I'm gonna miss you.
もう行くのか。父親と積もる話があったりしないのか。
What am I doing? Suzuha's mind is set. I know that nothing I can say will convince her to stay. It's madness to even try. If she stays, Mayuri dies. I know that. So why am I trying to stop her?
私は大丈夫きっと IBN5100 を手に入れてみせるから
She looks at us with the face of a warrior.
未来を変えるのは君たちにかかってる私は荷物をこの秋葉原に絶対持ってくるからそして君たちに責任を持って託すからお願い未来を変えてほしい
Nobody speaks. Nobody nods. We don't have the words. But she sees it in our faces. Resolve. Suzuha has entrusted us with her will and her mission. We meet her gaze, each of us, and silently swear to protect them to the end. The future Suzuha came from is not the future we desire. In Suzuha's time, Daru and I fought to change it. This time, we'll make sure it never happens. Mayuri will live, Kurisu will be free. Suzuha will grow up knowing her father. We must change the future, that all these things may come to pass.
それじゃ35年後に会おうね。君たちにとっては数時間後か。あ、そうそう。タイムマシンが時間跳躍するとき、紫外線光がすごいから直視しない方がいいよ。
With that final warning, Suzuha boards the time machine. She waves once, and then the hatch closes behind her. Moments later, the machine comes to life. A shrill alarm starts ringing. There are no other sounds. It makes less noise than I'd expect. People on the street below start shouting and cheering at the satellite's sudden activity. They all look up and point. My phone vibrates. I quickly take it out and open it. The mail is from Suzuha. Aww. Can I reply? Goodbye. When I failed to stop her on a previous world line, she sent me the exact same message before leaving. But this time, the word holds a completely different meaning. I lift my eyes from the message to see the space around the time machine begin to warp. A cocoon of light appears and envelops the fuselage. I squint my eyes against the brilliance.
Suzuha.
We will never see her again. Not this Suzuha. Yes, we can seek her out at our time. I know that I will make the effort. But the next time we meet again, an immense gulf of time will have divided us. No matter how hard we wish it were different, she will not be the girl we knew. All of a sudden, Daru takes a step into the light.
Suzuha! きっとまた会おうな。僕その時まで頑張るから。頑張るだなんてとっさにこんな言葉しか出なくて、自分のボキャブラリーの貧弱さが嫌になるけどさ。とにかく僕は頑張るから。Suzuhaも頑張ってな。
His words probably can't reach her anymore. As the light grows more intense, I raise my hand to shield my eyes. Bathed in radiant particles, the cocoon slowly unfurls. The next thing I know, Suzuha's time machine has vanished into thin air, leaving a hole the size of a dump truck in Narikan's wall. The air is thick with the smell of ozone, and it seems to pulse softly where the machine stood. We stand there for a while, staring silently at the empty spot while the summer breeze blows gently past, as if the wind were fate itself. Unfortunately, we don't have time to mourn her departure. In about an hour and a half, Moika's group will attack the lab. Before that happens, we need to acquire the IBN 5100 that Suzuha went to 1975 to obtain. The time machine's sudden disappearance has thrown the area into chaos, which makes it easy for us to slip out unnoticed. See you in 35 years, Suzuha said. 54-year-old Suzuha will be here, should be here in Akiba. Before she left, we decided that the time machine's disappearance would be her cue to bring the IBN 5100 to the lab. But when we return to the lab, there's no 54-year-old woman waiting for us. It seems Suzuha hasn't come yet. Kurisu gasps for breath, while Mayuri calmly munches on the banana. As I check the lab for any sign of Suzuha, a line of red numbers catches my eye. The meter reads 0.337187%. Divergence hasn't changed. Reading standard didn't activate this time, so I suspected that might be the case. Let's think this through. I thought that the divergence would change the instant Suzuha obtained an IBN 5100 in 1975. But maybe there's something else that needs to happen. Will it change the instant Suzuha hands me the IBN 5100? Or will it change when we use the IBN 5100 to delete my email from CERN's database? At any rate, all we can do now is wait for Suzuha to arrive.
今はさ、 鈴葉は54歳になってるわけでしょ。
Yep. After catching his breath, Daru speaks.
自分の娘が30以上も年上になってるのって見たいような見たくないような変な気分だお。
それどころか結婚してもう孫がいてもおかしくないわね。54歳なら。
Well,
つまり僕はこの年にしてひ孫の姿を拝めるとどんな顔していいかわかんねえ。
I don't even know what you would do in that situation.
ひいおじいちゃんらしくドーンって構えてればいいと思うよ。
Oh, Mayuri.
ひいおじいちゃんって言わんでくれ。
A knock on the door interrupts their idle chatter. It must be Suzuha. Everyone looks at me. With a strange mixture of anticipation and anxiety, I slowly open the door.
お、岡部。
Oh, hi. Instead of an old woman, we get a wall of muscle. Our disappointment is palpable.
なんだあなたか。
なあ、うちのバイト来てないか。
Part-timer? Mr. Brown peeks into the lab.
すずさんならね、35年前。
シャラップ、まゆり。
Shut up! Kurisu covers Mighty's mouth.
なんか知ってんのか。あいつどこ行ったんだよ。
So he still remembers her. Something happened. It had to have.
ここ数日ずっと休みっぱなしで、次にいつバイト出るかわかんねえんだよな。携帯に電話しても繋がらねえし。
We don't have time for this, but I can't just order him to leave. Not unless I want another cracked skull. Can he come to the party with us? Because good lord, he would take down Moika in a flash.
彼女は実家に帰ると言っていましたよ。もうここには来ないでしょう。
何？そうなのか。あのガキ、雇い主である俺には一言もなしか。
The future is changing. Isn't this proof? On my previous sleeps, Mr. Brown never came by the lab. This must be related to Suzuha's trip to 1975. Surely it's a good sign. Now, as long as the attractor field doesn't amend history again. Mr. Brown sighs, then turns to me with a serious expression.
まあいいわ。こうして訪ねてきたのは岡部。おめえに用があるからだ。
Huh?
俺に
He hands me an envelope. It's addressed to Okabe Rintaro, but there's no stamp or postmark. The name Hashida Suzu is written on the back.
これは
前に俺が世話になった人からの手紙だ。今日お前に渡してくれって頼まれてた。
Hashida?
え
Suzu.
おめえこそすずさんとはどういう関係なんだ。
Oh my god, she owns the building! Suzu-san? Suzu-san. Of course! The name on the back reads Hashida Suzu. Hashida is Daru's surname.
この女性は今どこに。
いや、10年前に亡くなったが。
Oh no.
亡くなった。
She's dead? A wave of dizziness nearly sweeps me off my
い
feet.
くつぐらいの人だった。
50は超えてなかったな。
The age fits.
渡してくれて感謝します。ミスター・ブラウン。
これもしかしてすずさん？
マジでなんで店長が
Mr. Brown clearly doesn't understand our reaction, and we're not about to explain. I thank him again. He grumbles a bit and leaves. As soon as he's gone, I break the seal and open the envelope. Inside is a handwritten letter. The characters are slightly messy, as if her hand was shaking as she wrote it. Our eyes, transfixed, begin to read.
岡部倫太郎様、お久しぶりです。天音鈴葉です。橋田タイターの娘です。あなたにとってはつい数時間前以来のことかもしれない。今は 西暦2000年の6月13日です。これをあなたが読んでいるだいたい10年前ということになります。結論だけ書く。失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した。私は失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した。今は西暦2000年の6月14日です。
Huh?
これをあなたが読んでいるだいたい9年前、10年前になります。失敗した。私が私だということを思い出したのはほんの1年前だった。恐怖の大王が落ちるとか言われてた日。バカだバカだ。何が恐怖の大王だ。どうせなら落ちてくれればよかった。私はこの24年間記憶を失っていた。
Oh.
覚えていたのは名前ぐらいだった。思い出したのはほんの1年前だった。恐怖の大王が落ちると言われて落ちなかった日。恐怖の大王なんてどこにもいないけど私は死にたい。修理が完全じゃなかった。タイムマシンは不具合があった。私は1975年に飛んだ時何も覚えていなかった。それを今になって思い出す私は真っ白でどうしたらいいか分からず施設に保護された。今は一人暮らしをしているけど、それは橋田鈴というまっさらな人間として普通に生活してきただけで、天音鈴葉としての使命は完全に忘れていて去年思い出した。失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した、失敗した。私は失敗。何が原因なの。タイムトラベルはうまくいかなかった。父さんの修理が完全じゃなかったんだ。でも父さんは悪くない。私が悪いんだ。まっすぐ1975年へ飛んでいればよかった。2010年に寄り道するべきじゃなかった。わがままを言ってる場合じゃなかった。これじゃ未来は変わらない。 IBN5100 は手には入れられなかった。ごめん、ごめんね。私は何のためにこの年まで生きてきたんだろう。使命を忘れてただのうのうと生きてきた。こんな人生何の意味もない。意味がない、意味がない、意味がない。思い出さなければよかった。思い出せてよかった。君に謝ることができてよかった。許して、許して、許して、許して、許して、許して。私の計画は狂ってしまった。その原因をこの1年考え続けていた。そして分かった。私が1975年へ飛ぶのを1日でもためらわなければこんなことにはならなかった。岡部倫太郎、君はあのタイムマシンオフ会の後1975年へ飛ぼうとした私を引き止めた。それはとても嬉しかったけど、でもそこで引き止めたのは失敗だったんだ。私はあの日飛ばなければならなかったんだ。あの日を逃したらダメだったんだ。引き止められたから、その夜に雷雨があってタイムマシンが壊れてしまったんだ。
Oh.
もしも時間を戻せるなら、あの日の私を引き止めないようにしてほしい。そうすれば私は君たちに IBN5100 を届けられる。使命を果たせる。
Wow.
私は使命を果たしたい。父さんと約束したから。父さんの
医師だから。私の未来を変えたいから。ごめんごめんごめん。こんな人生は無意味だった。
My hands curl, crumpling the page. I realize that I'm crying. Suzuha failed? She lost her memory? Her life was meaningless? This can't be happening. Nobody says a word. Their faces, like mine, are frozen in disbelief. I turn to Daru. He's whiter than a sheet.
ダル。タイムマシンは直したんじゃなかったのか。
治ってたはずだよ。はずだけど、そもそもタイムマシンを直すのなんて初めてだったし、見落としがあったのかも。
見落としたと。そのせいでお前の娘は24年間も記憶を失ったのだぞ。
Don't even blame it on him.
僕だって好きで見落としたわけじゃ。
そうよ。二人とも落ち着きなさい。橋田はできる限りのことを精一杯やった。彼を責めるのはお門違いよ。
お前はなんでそんなに冷静なんだ。
こういう性格なの。悪かったな。とにかく落ち着け。
It's not Daru's fault. I know that. But it can't end like this. It can't. What was Suzuha feeling as she wrote this letter? I look again at the words scrawled upon the page, every character resonant with despair. I wanted to welcome her back with a smile. Instead, this. Suzuha's dead. 10 years gone. Wait. How did she die? Don't tell me. Mr. Brown must know what happened. I run to the window and check the street. Mr. Brown is outside, closing up shop.
Mr. Brown!
I run downstairs.
岡部、例のラジカンの人工衛星消えたってよ。大騒ぎらしいぜ。
I guess it's already made the news.
そんなことより聞かせてください。
ん？なんだ？
橋田鈴さんの亡くなった状況について。
知ってどうする？
He looks at me hard. I meet his stare unflinching.
俺は今まで彼女の死について何も知らなかった。彼女の最後を知っておかなければならない。そんな気がするんです。そうしなくちゃいけないんだ。それがどんな最後だったにしろ、この胸に刻みつけておかないと。
単なる好奇心ってわけじゃなさそうだな。で、もう一度聞くが、すずさんとはどういう関係だ？
古い知り合いです。
That's all I can say.
とても古い知り合いで、でも彼女と過ごしたわずかな時間は今もはっきり思い出すことができるんです。聞かせてください。
あまり言いたくはないんだがな。これから俺が言うことは心して聞けよ。いいか？
I slowly nod. And then I get my answer.
自殺だ。
The word drops on my heart like an anvil. My knees give out. I collapse to the pavement. Suicide.
自宅で首をつってな。俺が第一発見者だ。
My life was meaningless. I recalled the last words she wrote in her letter. Words of unimaginable despair. She didn't deserve so bleak an end.
そんなことになる1年ぐらい前から精神的に随分不安定になってな。それまでは明るくて優しい人だったんだが、俺はあの人の家に下宿させてもらってたんだ。スズさんは天涯孤独だったし、葬式にはほとんど人は来なかった。
Oh.
寂しいもんだったぜ。さっきの手紙はスズさんが死ぬ1週間前に渡された。2010年の今日になったら岡部倫太郎という青年に渡してくれってな。スズさんは予知能力でも持ってたのかと思ったぜ。おめえが上に越してきた時はな。
Enough. I can't take it anymore. I try to stand, but my legs betray me. I stumble, but before I fall, a small body supports my shoulder.
おかり、大丈夫？
Mayuri. It must be taking all her strength to hold me up. Did Mayuri hear how Suzuha died? Her eyes are wet, her lips are trembling. Still, she's the one supporting me. Mayuri and I bow deeply to Mr. Brown and return to the lab. When we get back, Daru is seated at his computer, head on the table. Kurisu is standing in front of the TV, watching an excited reporter talk about Radikan. The disappearance of the satellite is huge news, obviously. The lounge is silent, save for the TV. I look at the table. The divergence meter still reads 0.337187%. It hasn't changed since before Suzuha left. What went wrong? I can't go back 10 years with the time leap machine. I can't do anything about Suzuha's death. Should I have stopped her from leaving after all? Maybe then this tragedy wouldn't have happened. No. What choice do I have? I can't save Mighty without the IBN 5100. Suzuha had to travel to 1975. I consider my options. What if I redo these 2 days again? Could Daru fix the time machine so this doesn't happen? Is fixing the time machine even possible? Daru's skills are second to none, and the time machine was built by his own hand, 26 years in the future. It seems logical that he would be able to fix it. But look at it another way. It took Daru 26 years to learn enough to build the time machine, and he had to reverse engineer Cerns to do it. Maybe it's unreasonable to expect our Daru to perform flawless repairs in only 2 days. In that case, can I have Daru use the time leap machine and repeat these 2 days until he repairs it? No, he'll have to start from scratch each time. 2 days just aren't enough. I collapse on the sofa and bury my face in my hands. Mighty sits next to me and gently rubs my back. I'm grateful for her kindness. I recall what Suzuha wrote. If you can go back to that day, please, please let me leave. The D-mail I sent. Could that be the cause? On the original world line, Suzuha leapt to 1975 after failing to meet her father. Unsatisfied with the outcome, I sent a D-mail to convince myself to follow Suzuha and prevent her from leaving. As a result, she remained in 2010 for an additional 4 days. But that night, the time machine was damaged by a thunderstorm. If I hadn't followed Suzuha that day, if I hadn't sent that D-mail to myself, her time machine would not have malfunctioned. She would have arrived safely in 1975. The solution is obvious. I need to cancel that D-mail. But can I really do that? If I change the past so that Suzuha leaves, won't that undo the 4 days we spent together? Our frantic search through the streets of Akiba. Her heartfelt confession on the roof of Radikan. Her tearful reunion with her father, Daru. All of it will be undone. What do I do? An urgent bulletin pops up on the TV. I look up in surprise. Bomb threat suspends Yamanote Sobu Kein Toku lines. Moika's men will be here any minute. There's no time to think. No time to hesitate. I run downstairs, break into the brown tube workshop, and turn on the 42-inch CRT. Then, I return to the lab and activate the time leap machine.
Okabe, どうするつもり?
Kurisu demands answers. I can see the fear in her eyes.
なんとかしなければならない。このままでいいはずはないんだ。
Okabe.
オカリン、無茶はダメだよ。
Don't try and stop me, Mayuri. I can't let this stand. There are two options. I can cancel the D-mail that convinced me to pursue Suzuha. Sending a contradictory D-mail should do the trick. Or, I can time leap again and prevent Suzuha from leaving. Two options, but really, just one. Do not hesitate, Okabe Rintaro. Hesitation is unforgivable. You already know what you must do. Stop pursuit. Last bail. Is Saren trap. That should be enough to convince me to let Suzuha go.
クリス、お前は日付を正確に覚えている特技があったな。
ええ、まあ。
鈴葉の励まし会をやったのはいつだ？
4日前、8月9日。
オカリン、D メールを送るの。でもそうしたら全部消えちゃうんだよ。
4 days. It may not sound like much, but in that time, we forged a definite bond with Suzuha. To send this D-mail is to sever that bond. I know that. I know that! But this is the only choice I have. I set the phone wave to 97 hours ago. This D-mail should arrive a few hours after the first. Now, I just need to send it out. Save Mayuri. That is my purpose. That is what drove me to leap through time. I'll do whatever it takes to save her. This is just one more sacrifice. Erase the time you spent with Suzuha. Destroy whatever bond you had. Send the D-mail. Push the button. Isn't that what Suzuha wants? You'll be saving her from 25... Am I supposed to be doing this? Oh, whoops. Save Suzuha. Save Mayuri. I start up the microwave. The discharge begins immediately. I place my thumb on the send button. I didn't realize I was supposed to actually like send it. Mighty's voice is choked with tears.
すずさんとの思い出消えちゃうんだよ。本当にそれでいいの？
Memories flash through my head.
ほんのちょっとの間でも君たちと一緒にいられてよかった。父さんのやろうとしていたこと私が絶対やり遂げるから。それじゃあ35年後に会いましょう。あ、君たちにとっては数時間後か。お願い、未来を変えてほしい。
Suzuha, I've made my choice. I won't ask for your forgiveness. Ultimately, I'm doing this to save Mayuri. But at the same time, the words you spoke on that rooftop are still strong in my heart. You entrusted to me your hope for the future. If I'm to honor that wish and oh, crap! I didn't get to read it! Ah, well, it's okay. 4.40, huh? Well. It's what we had to do. It's what we had to do. But what's gonna happen now? Where are we? Are we still being attacked? The world shatters into geometric shapes that expand and contract like rubber toys. Light gathers between my eyes. Stars explode behind my eyelids. Gradually, color returns to the world. I wait for the vertigo to pass. Cold sweat oozes from my temples. Pressing my fists against them, I slowly force the air out of my lungs. Has the world line changed? I head to the lounge in order to check the divergence meter.
消えた。
I checked the meter a few minutes ago, just before the world line changed. Now it's nowhere to be found. I quickly realize what has happened. Suzuha gave me the meter after we stopped her from leaving. My D-mail undid those events. Of course the meter isn't here. A surge of regret seizes my heart. I clench my teeth and endure it the best I can. If nobody else remembers, then I alone will keep these memories of Suzuha alive. I look around the room. Mairi and Kurisu are on the sofa, dozing on each other's shoulders. Daru, oblivious to the vulnerable high school girls behind him, is playing an eroge on his computer. I take a deep breath and turn on the TV. I flip to a news channel. The world line should have changed. I erase the time we spent with Suzuha. That should have allowed her to leap to 1975 without losing her memories, and the IBN 5100 should be in our hands now. We can use it to hack into Saren and erase the data they intercepted from us. Without that information, Moika's men won't attack the lab. Mairi won't have to die. That's how it should be. That's how it has to be. Otherwise, why did I sacrifice Suzuha's dream? The quickest way to confirm the change would be to check for any delays at Akihabara Station.
ダル、山手線は止まっているか。
はいや、止まってないんじゃね。
ネットで調べてくれ。
今いいところなのに。
Really?
頼む。
Daru sighs and calls up train information.
やっぱ止まってないみたいだお。
ありがとう。
The world line has changed, which means that our IBN 5100 should be in the development room. I head back there to search for it, but contrary to my expectations, I can't find it anywhere. What's going on? I look at my watch. It's 7:43 p.m. Moika's men attack at what time again? My heart is pounding like a drum. That demo is supposed to fix everything. The trains are moving as scheduled, which means Moika's men aren't about to attack. So why does it feel like nothing's fixed at all? The IBN 5100's absence is extremely disturbing. I want to sit down and think about where he could have gone, but a voice in my head is still screaming that there's no time. I need to calm down. It's hard to think straight after everything has happened. I check my watch again. 7:46 p.m. Images from the assault flash through my mind. Mairi bleeding to death on the floor. The smell of gunpowder in the air. I frantically shake the visions out of my head. I look towards the lab entrance. The door is yet to be kicked in by a team of hitmen. I swallow hard, petrified with terror. Please, don't let anything happen. It's past 9. I peek at the street through the window. Nobody's there.
オカリン、誰か待ってんの？さっきからやたら下を気にしてっけど。
Daru's right. I probably looked out the window 20 times in the past hour. And not a suspicious figure in sight. Moika's men still haven't appeared. The raid was before 8, if I remember correctly. I think it's safe to say that my changes to the past have prevented it from occurring. Suzuha's sacrifice was not in vain. I let out a deep breath. I'm sweaty and disgusting. It's like my anxiety has pushed all the sweat out of my body.
マユリ、それにクリス。
The two girls woke up from their nap about half an hour ago. Now they're eating cup noodles.
今あんた、私の名前、普通に呼んだ？
Kurisu looks at me in astonishment, like she can't believe her ears.
二人とも食事が終わったら帰るんだ。もう遅いから送っていく。
そうする。
別に岡部なんかに送ってもらわなくても一人で帰れるんだけど。
いいから。誰も支度しておけ。
え？僕も？
The train lines running through Akihabara are operating normally. There's no bomb scare, and no sign of Moika or her men. Curtis is taking the Sobu line to the next station, Ochanomizu, while Daru is going the opposite way to Shinkoiwa. Mairi and I are taking the Yamanote line to Ikebukuro, so we part at the station's ticket gate. There are surprisingly few passengers on the train. I guess most of the salarymen are off for the Obon holiday. Mairi is playing a handheld game, the Lightnet Kakeru Action RPG. On the screen, her character is battling a gigantic Upa. I stand beside her and gaze at her profile, lost in thought. It's the night of the 13th, and Mairi's still alive. How many times have I watched her die? How many times have I tasted that despair? No matter what I did, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't save this ditzy childhood friend of mine from death. She died again and again, right before my eyes. But now, she's alive. Standing beside me, playing a game. This is why I sacrificed our memories with Suzuha. It was the only way. I'm sorry, Suzuha. And thank you. Suzuha no longer exists in this time, but I hope my feelings will reach her all the same. Actually, come to think of it, why can't I tell her in person? Where in Akiba would the 54-year-old Suzuha be? I'll try asking Tennoji tomorrow. He probably knows Suzuha on this world line too. I wonder if Suzuha remembers me. Mairi suddenly lifts her head. She looks at me hesitantly. Her cheeks are slightly pink. I apologize, but keep looking at her. Instead of starting a new game, Mairi looks at me with concern. I remind myself that Mairi is more perceptive than she seems. She proved that when she figured out Daru was Suzuha's father. I don't want to worry about her too much. I want Mairi to smile her casual ditzy smile without a care in the world. After all, it's over now. She's safe. Is she really though?
IQ170 を誇る灰色の脳細胞が完璧な計算を叩き出しているのだからな。
Oh.
たまにはボケーって休むことも必要なんだよ。そのことをね、忘れないでね、おかり。
Having said that, Mairi returns to her game. I feel cold stares all around me, but I don't care at all. Mairi is here with me, doing everyday Mairi things. Ordinary things. Everything has gone back to normal. Yesterday was my first time home in a while, so I slept like a log in my comfortable bed. It could be because of my mental exhaustion, but that was my best night's sleep in a while. We finally made it to the 14th. Before heading up to the lab, I stop and stare at the brown tube workshop. The familiar mountain bike is gone. Suzuha liked it so much, she insisted on bringing it with her to 1975. The workshop door opens and out comes Mr. Brown, rubbing his eyes sleepily.
お岡部、おめえずいぶん暇そうだな。うちでバイトしねえか。今なら特別に月給ブラウン管1台で雇ってやる。
One CRT a month? So for 1 month's work, I get an old television? Hell no.
鈴葉はいつ頃辞めたんでしたっけ？
鈴葉？誰だそいつは。
What? Was her existence erased completely? But that's
た
impossible.
った10日ばかりで辞めてくようなゆとりバイトの名前なんざとっくに忘れちまったぜ。
Oh, gotcha.
俺紛らわしい言い方を。
So, Suzuha did work here. In fact, the evidence of Suzuha's sojourn in 2010 still remains on this world line.
せっかく俺が楽でいると思ったのによ。だから嫌なんだ。最近の若いのは根性なしもいいところだぜ。どうせ面接の時に言ってたブラウン管が好きってのも嘘だったんだろうよ。まんまと騙されちまった。
Tennoji shrugs his shoulders, annoyed. Naturally, he doesn't know about Suzuha's true identity.
橋田鈴という人を知っていますか？
At this, Tennoji's eyes go wide.
懐かしい名前だな。おめえ、知り合いだったのか？
Knew her?
その人は今は？
もうかれこれ10年になるか。
You can't change it. 10 years? 10 years since what? No. I don't want to know the answer. Tennoji has a faraway look in his eyes, as if he's gazing into the past.
あの人には随分世話になった。
Why are you talking about her in the past tense?
天涯孤独だったらしくてな。せめて俺が見とってやりたかったんだが。
At the end, there's only one thing that can mean. Even though the world line changed, Suzuha didn't survive to the year 2010.
ま、こう言っちゃなんだが、死に顔は穏やかだったよ。
Huh?
穏やか。自殺じゃないのか？
自殺？お前それ誰から吹き込まれたんだよ。すずさんは病気で亡くなったんだ。根も葉もねえ話を信じてんじゃねえ。
She was sick. Sickness killed her? I shouldn't feel good about that. But I guess you could say it's better than what happened before the world line changed. That's what I tell myself anyway.
で、おめえとすずさんはどういう知り合いだったんだ？
昔俺も世話になったんです。もう一度会いたいって思っていたのに。
そうか。あの人が住んでた家は今俺が使ってんだ。
Really?
そこにある。なんなら手を合わせに来るか。
I nod without a moment's hesitation. Tennoji closes up shop and we head off towards his house. From Chuodori, we head straight towards the station. I scan the Akiba scenery as we walk. More stores are still nowhere to be found on this world line. After a little hesitation, I look up at Radikan. It's gone. The satellite has vanished. All that's left is the hole it made when it arrived in this
例
timeline.
の人工衛星いつ消えたんでしたっけ？
ああ。5日前ぐらいじゃなかったか。世の中、奇妙なことが起きるもんだな。
Which means Suzuha left before it rained. Like Tennoji said, his house is closer than expected. We take the train to the next station, Okachimachi, and then walk for about 5 minutes to a quiet residential area. The old one-story house is where Suzuha once lived. I walk up to the front of the house, and there I see a familiar sight. Suzuha's bicycle. For a moment, I can see her there, squatting beside the bicycle. But the mountain bike Suzuha rode to the Brown Tube workshop was shiny and new. Now it's old and covered in rust.
その自転車は、すずさんがすっげえ大事にしてたんだよ。晩年は自分で乗ることはなかったけどな。それでも週に一度はフレームを磨いてた。処分することもできなくて、結局10年もそこに置いたままだ。俺もできるだけ整備はしてるんだが、さすがに錆が目立ってきてるな。
I gently push my hand on the seat. It's warm from sitting out in the sun. I suppose that for the few days that Suzuha was in Akiba, this bicycle existed in two places at the same time. The house isn't as messy inside as I expected, considering the state of the brown tube workshop. I guess that chipmunk keeps the place clean. A wave of nausea hits me, as I recall what Naya did at Ochanomizu Station. But I tell myself that was just an accident. Besides, that incident has already been undone. Tennoji Naya has done nothing wrong. Next to the living room is a child's room. There are a child's study desk and a red backpack on the floor. Naya isn't here. Which reminds me, Tennoji's daughter visits the workshop often, but not once have I seen his wife. He couldn't have married Suzuha, could he? I mean, she should have been a lot older than him when they met. But, as I say, love knows no bounds. I wonder what really happened. I don't know if I'd feel, if those two... I don't know how I'd feel if those two were married. That would make Daru Tennoji's father-in-law. Actually, that'd be kind of interesting. I turn to the Buddhist altar and pay my respects to Suzuha. There's no picture of her, so there's no way to know how she does Suzu look like at the age of 44. I make an offering of incense to her, then look around the house again. This is the house Suzuha lived in after leaping in 1975.
俺とすずさんは最初いわゆるお隣さんだったんだよ。
For some reason, Tennoji offers me a beer. When I decline, he shakes his head and starts drinking it himself.
俺はヨーロッパ生まれのヨーロッパ育ちでな。
は？それはギャグですか？
んだよてめえ。俺は英語もフランス語もペラペラだぞこら。
He really doesn't look like someone who lived abroad. I guess you can't judge a book by its cover.
両親が死んで15年ぐらい前に日本に帰ってきたんだよ。つっても俺にとっては生まれて初めての日本だった。この国について何にも知らねえ俺の面倒を見てくれたのが
Oh,
一人で住んでたすずさんだったってわけだな。
she's like repaying the time that she worked with him. Like, oh, that's awesome. All right, now it's my chance. If I'm gonna ask, it's now or never.
結婚を？
結婚？
すずさんと。
アホか。
Phew. I knew she'd never marry a guy like him.
あの人は随分ストイックに生きてたよ。人付き合いもあまりなかったみてえだ。けどな、俺にはよくしてくれた。ここに越してきて1年ぐらい経った時、俺の家が火事で全焼してな。まあ、俺のタバコの不始末が原因だから自業自得なんだが、その時に全財産なくした俺をこの家で下宿させてくれたんだ。それだけじゃねえ。工房のあるあの大檜山ビルな、あれもともとすずさんの持ち物だったんだぞ。
え？
それを格安で譲ってもらったんだ。おかげで俺はブラウン管工房を構えることができたってわけだ。
Suzuha did a lot.
あの人は俺の恩人だよ。ある時、なんだって縁もゆかりもねえのにこんなによくしてくれるんですかって聞いたことがあんだが、そしたらあの人は笑ってこう答えたよ。巡り巡って人は誰かに親身にしてもらうことになってる。だから君もいずれ誰かに親身にしてあげなさいってな。なんだか不思議な人だったぜ。預言者みたいにこれから起きる出来事をピタリピタリと言い当てたりしてな。
Suzuha. That was probably her way of repaying Tennoji for looking after her, even if it was just for 10 days. And so, it came full circle.
しかし世間ってのは狭いな。あの人のことを知ってる人間がこんな近いところにいたとは。
Yeah, there's actually several people, including you.
そうだ。ちょっと待ってろ。
Tennoji goes into the child's room next door, then returns and places an object on the table. It's Suzuha's divergence meter. Before the world line changed, it was in the lab. But on this world line, Suzuha brought the meter with her to 1975. It's been in this house for 35 years. The tubes read 0.409431%. Divergence has changed, just like Suzuha said. This proves that my magic eye, reading Steiner, does indeed allow me to perceive changes to the world line. But what does 0.409431% mean? I recall what Suzuha said.
メーターの数値が 1% を超えたとき、君はベータ世界線にたどり着いたことになる。
Does this mean I'm still on the Alpha world line?
それ何の数字を表してるかわかるか？俺にはさっぱりわからなくてな。この10年その数字からピクリとも変わりゃしねえ。ただすずさんは病床からいつもこのメーターを眺めてた。上ごとのようにつぶやいてたよ。この数字は変わる前なのかな、変わった後なのかな。私は変えられない。
Oh. She doesn't know.
そんな風に一日に何回もな。見てて痛々しいほどだった。
I touched the device. Suzuha. In my heart, I reach out to the girl who died 10 years ago, to the girl who will be born 7 years from now, to the girl who crossed time to save the future. Suzuha. Thanks to you, Mighty is safe. Divergence has changed, but we haven't reached your ultimate goal. 1% divergence. Once that is achieved, the future you dreamed of will become a reality. I will carry on your fight, Suzuha. I promise. I realize that I'm crying. Tennoji stares at me for a moment, then puts his giant hand on my shoulder. Mighty comes out of the ticket gate and walks up to me with an unhurried stride.
まさかね、本当に駅まで迎えに来てくれるなんて思わなかった。マユシーはびっくりなのです。
I bet! But we are going to leave this episode right here. So we did learn a lot of stuff. I still don't know if what we did with Suzuha was the right thing or not. We sent her back twice with a frayed memory, and the second time we don't even know where the IBM 5100 is. So that is how Steins Gate is, and I guess I will leave it at that. So at least Mighty's alive, right? That's what we really, really wanted. But it feels kind of bad that we've lost a friend. Anyways, I'm done dwelling on that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next MAMJ. Let's play. He's a foreigner, so maybe I should use English. Our eyes meet. His eyes are as bright and blue as the sky. I quickly look away. He must think I'm a coward. Better get this over with.
I am mad scientist. So cool. Son of a bitch.
Okay, man, you're trying too hard.
Hi, 何ですか?
He smiles a wide, toothy smile. Nice teeth, and answers in Japanese.